stay safe. My name is Krista. First, I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming here. I want you to know that you being here supporting not just me, but every other performer your presence is well appreciated. Woo! So, my story is, the title is 2.6 seconds. That was how long the earthquake in Haiti last, in January 2010. And I have never realized how much I've taken my life for granted until that day. It was a Tuesday afternoon. Me and my brother came from school, so we went home. And then my mother told me that my grandmother wasn't feeling good, so we had to go and visit her. And when I said my grandmother, that's my dad's mom, not my mother's. So me and my brother were on our way to go visit my grandmother. That's when, all of a sudden, the ground started shaking and buildings were just falling off. And then I started screaming. I asked my brother, what's going on? He said it's an earthquake. And even though he said it was an earthquake, I still didn't know what that means, because to me it was just fun time, because sometimes it happens, but we would be laughing because everything's just moving in the house. But that day it was terrible. Everything was just falling apart. And I saw everybody running outside of the houses, and I was wondering, I'm like, I thought inside was safe, so I started running. I tried to go inside of someone's house. That's when my brother called me. He said, come out. And then as soon as I came out, the whole house fell down. I almost died. And then I found myself crying in the moment, but I wasn't crying because I almost died. It's the fact that there was a lady who went back inside to get her baby who was asleep, and none of them made it back out. So that's why I found myself crying. And then me and my brother decided to go back home because home was closer than my grandmother's house. And my mom was back home, so we had to go. And if you ask me to choose over my grandmother and my mom, I would choose my mom, of course. So we went back to check on my mother. And then when we get there, I was thankful that my mother was fine. But then I was terrified to see my best friend since kindergarten laying on the floor. She was dead. And the look in her face, it's as if she died, frozen in fears. It's as if she was screaming for help, but there was no one to help her. Because how it is in Haiti is that it's okay for parents to go to work and leave their children. They just ask neighbors to check on them from time to time. So it's as if she was screaming, asking for help, but there was no one there to help her. And I was only 11 years old, so I was just crying. I thought that was over. I'm like, my best friend just died. And on our way going back home, all me and my brother stepped on was literally dead bodies. It was terrible. It was terrible to just looking at all these people dying. And there was no rich, no poor. It was just a bunch of dead bodies. And injured people were on the sidewalk. And then they were just looking as if desperate. It's like, oh my God, the world is going to end. And that same night, they told us that we couldn't go back inside of our houses because the aftershock kept happening every 5 seconds. So that night we had to sleep. Everybody went to a soccer field because that's where we were planning on spending the night. And then of course there was newborn and babies. They were crying because it kind of get chilly outside when it comes late in 6 p.m. So after a while, when my mother came back from my grandmother's house, and she said that she was fine, so we were all laying down in the soccer field. That's where we were gonna spend the night. And all of a sudden, it started raining, and then blood from the dead bodies were just drowning down to us. So we had to get up. We had to spend the night on our feet because we couldn't lay in the blood because it was just we might get sick and everything. So to me, the world was just ending. It was the end of the world. There was no hope left for me. And then the next day, my mother decided that she was going back to her home to the countryside, her hometown, because the countryside wasn't as affected as the city. So she decided we'll go there. But going to the port to get the boat to get to my mother's countryside, it's like the distance from walking from Brooklyn to Connecticut. So we had to walk all the way there to get to the port and then to get a boat, which wasn't easy because obviously everybody was just trying to get there because since it was safe. So we walked there, we made it there, no water because every water was affected by the injuries and everything. And as I walked by, everything was just, for the first time in my life, I saw every Haitian came together. They were all praying for one thing, that God saved them. For once, they were all together united. They weren't always coming at each other saying, oh, I'm rich, you poor. There was none of that. It was just us praying that we make it to the day. And when we get to my mother's countryside, we finally made it. Like, it was 11 p.m. We finally made it there, and things were looked better. And everybody was like, "Oh, you guys okay?" We're like, "Yes, we're okay." And then a few days later, my mother got really sick. And then I thought to myself, okay, so I just lost my best friend, and I'm about to lose my mother too. And I wasn't raised with my dad. My dad was never around. All I heard was he's in New York City, and I never knew him. So I was like, my life is gonna end. My mom's gonna die, and my best friend just died. Although I would still have my brother, but it wouldn't be enough because I would still need my mom, and my brother wouldn't be he wouldn't just do it. And after a couple of days of drinking tea, because this is natural, tea makes you feel better. After this, my mother got better eventually. That's when we received a call from my dad. He told my mother to bring us back to the city so that we can go to his hometown, which is a different, because they're from different countryside, which is another hometown. He said that me and my brother should go to live with my stepmother. I'm like, as if my life couldn't get any worse. Now I have to leave my mother behind again to go live with someone that I've never met my whole life. So, and then he threatened my mom. He said, if you don't bring them, it's all on you now. I'm never gonna do anything. My mother wanted us to, because he was the only way for us to get here. So my mother wanted the best for us. So she said, you know what, it's okay, go. Just do whatever she wants you to do and then go, because that's what's best for you for now. So when we get back to the city, and then my grandmother, we went to the hometown. I cried so much that day, leaving my mother, and seeing her crying too. It just breaks my heart that I have to leave her, and I know things weren't good in the city, and she obviously wasn't going back to her hometown because she only went because of us. So when I get to my mom's house, things were just, because you know it's never easy. Once you leave your mother, it's never easy with anybody else. So it was really hard. I started having a hard time with my stepsisters because I had to start sharing clothes with them. And of course they were picking on me, make up lies. And then the first incident that happened while I was at my stepmom's house is that there was a party in school, and I was supposed to go because I had a lot to do. I was supposed to sing, and I was the one who wrote the script for the play, so I had to go. It was really important to me. So then when I told my stepmom that I wanted to go, she's like, no, you're not going. I'm like, but why not? She's like, you're just not going. So then that was it. Then I was talking in school, and one of my friends heard, and one of them said, oh, you should tell her you have an exam or something, and then sneak out and make it to the party. And of course I would do it because I'm interested, I want to go. So then I did as she said, until I woke up the next day to go to the party, and my stepmom just grabbed me, where do you think you're going? My friend went behind my back and she told her that I was trying to sneak out. I was 11 years old. My trust, ever since then, my trust has completely been destroyed. And I'm like, wow, why would she do that to me? And then, before I could even explain myself to say why I wanted to go so bad, my face already received a big slap. Like, there was already a big slap across my face. And then she just started beating on me. Not only did she beat me, she went and told my grandmother. And my grandmother beat me up so bad again that the next day, in order for my clothes to get off my skin, I had to wet myself first because it was all my scars. My clothes were just attached so hard to my scars that I couldn't take them off. I had to wet myself first, then remove my clothes. But it's funny how life works in a mysterious ways, because in 2013, 2 years later, guess who was at the hospital in Rhode Island taking care of her? Me. Because none of my other cousins wanted to go. They were like, I'm in college. I'm not going to go in Rhode Island to stay with grandma. I'm not going. So it was left to me. And then I just decided I would go. So I went there. One night when I was there, because I was supposed to translate for her, do her hair, and then help her out. One night I was laying there in the world's most uncomfortable chair. And I was thinking to myself, why don't I go up there and just tell her, does she remember what she did to me? But then there was a voice behind my back that said, no, don't do that. Just let her. I'm pretty sure remorse is already killing her inside. You don't have to add on top of that. And then I would hate for her to die on my account. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to remind her. I'm sure she remembers anyways. So even now, up until now, I still live with my stepmom. But then things are looking better because I have people that support me and care and show that they care about me. They're always here to help, especially in school. I have a lot of people that are supporting me, and anything I'm going through, I know that I can trust them and go to them. So the whole point of my story, the reason why I'm saying all of this is just that is to tell you that no matter what it is that you're going through, just know it will get better. Because the night can only last for so long, the sun revives. Because the sun was created to shine, whether that is the time.